There are 5 weeks in an AU Pro Volleyball season where a contender must select and lead 20 unique teams, 30 matches, 1 champion. The most challenging championship chase in the game closes week 2 of play. Welcome back to Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball. One of the unique and thrilling aspects of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball is who will be captain for the next week. How will they construct the team? This is the championship chase, and going into week 3, the chase to be captain. In this match, we will determine who the 4 captains are. There are 10 women vying for just those 4 spots. Welcome back once again, everybody. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael Key. Battle of unbeatens. How have these 2 teams gotten here on a Monday?
Well, they've been dominant so far, and it keeps coming back to that B word, balance. Both these teams, we know they have big swingers. They've got Betty on one side who's going to get her kills. Brittany Abercrombie on the other is definitely going to. But for me, the impact players are the ones that have been making a difference and will continue to do so today.
Pair of impact players. First, Lauren Page, the former Oregon star, who has had a very different couple of matches.
Yeah, I've loved watching her play so far. She's so fun to see her come out of her shell over the past few days. She didn't really get a lot of opportunity to show what she's made of last week. On Team Nunaviller, she only got 20 attempts to attack over 3 full matches. This week, with the same setter, Sydney Hilly, she got 22 attempts last night alone. So Team Abercrombie is clearly making Page a real part of the offensive strategy, and I love to see it.
All right, you're going double ducks here as we open this match. Willow Johnson at the opposite position.
She was back in her element last night after barely seeing the court last week. She put up 13 kills, 2 blocks, 2 aces. Those are some big numbers. Tied up with Lexter member Monet for top scorer, and a huge part of that balanced offense we talk about, but it's so aggressive in terms of what Betty has orchestrated. The lethal lefty will be facing off against Betty's former lefty opposite of last week in Brittany Abercrombie, so there's a lot to prove tonight.
Indeed there is. Somebody goes undefeated and somebody goes 2-1. And we'll put 4 people into the captain's chairs.
And there are a couple of the stats there from those 2 players, and that's what I talk about. Impact playing, adding a little something more than just what we're seeing from those big stars.
This promises to be an offensive shootout. Big arms, big swings, maybe better digs. Nati Valentin Anderson gets us underway with a tough serve. Free ball opportunity right away. Overhead, Willow, fast from Nati. Betty, just enough. She's so cagey.
Yeah, Betty, one of the craftiest players, as well as one of the strongest arms you're going to see out there. And there's a reason she's been sitting in that #1 spot and is, well, she's trying to protect it from somebody on the other side here tonight.
Nati Valentin Anderson, first in AU in assists, but also, here's the wild thing, she is 4th in total digs. More than a one-dimensional attacker, or pardon me, a setter, and you know why Bethany De La Cruz took her so early in the draft.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that draft unravel. She took Lecator first, and then she goes immediately for Nati Valentin Anderson because last week she had Nutsar. She wanted to make sure she was going to get those balls that she wanted. And as you mentioned, Nati, a well-rounded player, doesn't bring just the set.
Nice reach that time by Hilly, and it pays off. She got it just above the redirect of Team De La Cruz Mejia.
Well, chicken wing there by Betty De La Cruz, trying to keep that ball alive.
As we fade into the deeper part of the evening, we'll see if we have chicken wings, pancakes, maybe some ice cream cones, or a jumbo shrimp.
Ooh.
Betty, right side, blocked, covered. Manami Kojima has been a revelation at opposite, or at libero. Roll shot over the top is good. Abercrombie showing a little craft.
So Abercrombie didn't get that first set she wanted, a little inside, but however, I like her being creative. I like her maybe not being perfectly in system and having to find solutions.
Abercrombie comes in hitting 290 on the season. Defense by Hilly. Abercrombie again an opportunity. She'll tip. Kojima flies in. Hence leaves it in the middle for Drews, who really got going in the last match. Danny Drews, of course, we were expecting that. No surprise that Danny Drews' numbers would rise. It was just a question of when. She had 12 kills, 25 attempts, hit 480 with 0 errors. But she makes one here. Tanya to serve. This is the most aggressive serving team. 13 aces in 6 sets. To keep Betty at the line. Lekator does just that.
Interesting that Hilly and Abercrombie don't seem to be connecting at the moment. I mean, Lekator finishing it off there with an aggressive swing, but that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now, is the connection on the orange side. Hasn't really been on yet.
Next weekend, of course, a pivotal showdown. Pitt taking on Stanford. That's going to be on ESPN. That will be from the campus of Pitt. Lekator, a program she helped build. She gets a touch here. Difficult swing. She'll go over the top. Hoffman jams in. Hoffman's been a critical component for the women in orange. Off the block, down the line, and a winner. Hoffman kept that one alive, and she has been a part of that balance you've talked about, but on Team Abercrombie. Hoffman had 7 kills in the last match, number 21 there in orange. Does she have to play a larger role if Abercrombie's going to beat De La Cruz Mejia?
Well, that's the question, right? If that connection between Sydney and Abercrombie doesn't sharpen up as the match progresses, who else can step up? We saw Paige do a fantastic job, but as a middle, also not getting that many attempts, possibly. You've got Drews and Hoffman that have to do some damage.
Overhand reception by Betty. Inside kill. There is Willa Johnson.
So far, Johnson winning that lefty opposite battle. Just inside, and we talked about that. I think I drew it up on the whiteboard earlier, why lefties are able to slice that inside. She has options. She can choose to get that off early.
Rosenthal misses that one to the net off the kill from Willow Johnson, who had 13 kills, hit .333, added 2 service aces, 9 digs, and 2 blocks. Absolutely filling the stat sheet and rising through our leaderboard was Willow Johnson. She's in the right front right now, facing the service of Paige. Remember, Monet, pass, swing, terminate. That's how you do it. Okay, Morgan Hentz comes back on the other side right now. Going to face the service of Willow Johnson. Last match, Key Michael, I wondered about these stats for Team Abercrombie. 34 receptions for Danny Drews, 21 for Hoffman, number 21 who takes that one. Just 6 for Hentz. Just 6.
Well, no one's going to serve her.
But should she be more aggressive? What would that look like?
Yep.
On her side? She's the middle linebacker. She runs the defense.
No, it's a good point. And a lot of liberos will try to take more space away from those outside hitters. You can really squeeze your outside hitter into a tiny little channel on the right or left side so they don't have to pass that many balls. She could absolutely do more of that.
All right, keep an eye on that reception, see how it goes. Drews has been the target. They side out there. Drews rolling over the top.
The other question with that, though, do those hitters allow that to happen? Do they want to be squeezed out, or do they feel better when they're in that reception and they're making plays?
Yeah, I had that discussion with Brooke Nuneviller just this evening. She said when she's not getting served, doesn't feel as in rhythm. And I've heard that from Matt Anderson, of course, the legendary and soon Hall of Famer for Team USA, who may go to another Olympic Games. He plays outside hitter professionally, plays opposite for Team USA, but he struggles when he's not receiving, so he receives out of the opposite for the men's side.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, as a middle, I can't relate to wanting to be in it.
Remember,
there's another example.
Ace serve, and she struggled night number 1 with her serve, went to a jump float eventually, and fixed whatever was that issue coming into match number 2, and now she's still on fire here.
And that one is just on the line, absolute perfection. So you couldn't possibly have squeezed further to the line than that.
1 ace, 1 error.
Betty will take that. Betty will be happy with 1 aggressive serve followed by an error. I think we talked about it in the last couple of games. She wants to establish her team as an aggressive serving team. They're not putting lollipops on the other side.
Hentz right hand. This time Abercrombie. Slide, push deep. Willow. That was a dirty contact.
all starts with this defense. Right here, Abercrombie takes 1 foot back, then goes forward. She's never going to get that, hence is lightning fast off her feet.
That ball passed over, redirected. McCage, good read from number 5. Rally kept alive. Does McCage finish it? Oh, no, she doesn't. Betty does.
Rejected is right in the stadium. And Betty's eye and footwork, better than a lot of players out there. She doesn't have to be straight in front of Molly, but she's using the strength of her forearms.
Danny Drews watches that one go wide right. That will send McCage to the line. Molly McCage, originally out of Texas, played for the Las Vegas Thrill in PBF this last year, headed to Love Volleyball after this. She's been a mainstay here at Athletes Unlimited Volleyball, PEC chairman. That's the player executive committee that makes all the decisions about everything you see and hear and experience at an Athletes Unlimited Volleyball event. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is in Mesa, Arizona this year. Come and see us. We have 3 more weeks. Hoffman holds the platform out and then jams into the block and down. 3-time All-American during her collegiate days. Hoffman now 24 years old, 6'2", on the tall side at the outside hitter, can be very physical. And was raring to serve.
Yeah, a little too early. Sydney Hilly back there.
Hoffman will be right front. Abercrombie left front. She'll move over to the right now. Tip, Hens can't get there. And if Hens can't get there, nobody can.
Well, Manami Kojima, perhaps.
Maybe.
But no one in an orange jersey. These 2 liberos actually, it's so fun to watch them go head to head because I think it's going to be defense, defense, defense all day long. Even with these big swingers, we're seeing a lot of laying out already.
Right now, it's all French fries.
Your favorite.
Overpass. Rosenthal easily done. +8 for Jenna Rosenthal for that kill generated by Betania de la Cruz Mejia.
That's why she picks her tall, strong middle, so she can have that aggressive serve, get that overpass she knows is going to be taken care of.
Deep and a little too long.
Jenna Rosenthal was also the 3rd pick for Betty de la Cruz. So I'm so curious to see how things shake out next week because the strength of this team this week is equal to that of the purple side when Betty was there last week.
Right side, Johnson. Right back to her, 2 in a row. The tip gets thrown back. Lekator. Drew's chopping. Valentine Anderson scooping. That blast is a little long from Lekator member Monet.
Again, the defense keeping both sides in play. But if you're Betty this week, who are you taking first?
Ooh, that's a great question. We'll have to see who's not available as an ace serve is given out. Hoffman drops one on the back line. It'll all come down to who is not available via sitting in the captain's chair themselves. Will it be a bunch of players from Team Abercrombie? Entirely possible. They have an excellent match. Or if Team De La Cruz sweeps again, it would be players from Team De La Cruz. Touch, yes. That one is good. 14-13. Technical timeout, perhaps in the offing here. If Team Abercrombie can come up with a side out. Wisconsin's own Jenna Rosenthal back to serve. Abercrombie dug. Sweet sauce from Rosenthal is hit wide. And that will carry us to the first technical timeout, 15-13. Team Abercrombie is up. And next, you're headed into the classroom with Professor Key. Your volleyball IQ going up. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Nike. The final journey for each one of these teams. Team Abercrombie, Team Dela Cruz Mejia. Looking forward to this match and then the draft. 15-13 at the moment with Team Abercrombie. And there will be a test at the end of this match, so pay attention right now.
You know, Kevin, that I gotta keep the fans hungry for more, so we're talking food again. These are some things that are food in the real world, but are something very different in the volleyball court. First up, this guy. Well, you might enjoy it with some buffalo sauce, some blue cheese while you're watching football on a Sunday, but in the volleyball world, it's a little elbow. We already saw one today. It is the chicken wing. Number two, this is, you enjoy it hot, maybe in New England, maybe there's clams in it, but in the volleyball world, it's when you go to make a set and you absolutely fumble it. We call that the chowder. Number three, this one's easy. You might drizzle it on some popcorn in the movie theater, but in the volleyball world, it's when your setter gives you absolute chef's kiss. It is indeed butter. And number four, this one might be Belgian. Maybe you have it with some sauce, some chocolate, some whipped cream, maybe chicken if you're feeling fancy. But in the volleyball world, it's when you absolutely spatula a volleyball. We call that the waffle. And Kevin, I'm throwing this one to you. This guy might be the star of the show at Thanksgiving dinner, but here in the volleyball world, it's when you get absolutely roofed. What do you call that, Kevin?
A turkey?
Close. Stuffed turkey. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the food on the food court.
Key's Food Court here with Professor Key and all of her fancy drawings. All right, we'll get Simon back here in the booth in just a moment. As it stands, 15-13, Team Abercrombie holding service and the lead here in the first set. Page standing in, Hilly gets the touch. And Statsman Pickle is not a legal contact. 15-14. Johnson back to the line. And she issues an ace serve. We are tied. Plus 12 for that ace for Willow Johnson. Well, hello, Key.
Hello, Governor.
Did you make those drawings yourself?
I got help from Giade's husband. He drew the butter.
Oh, well, you drew all the rest?
I drew the turkey.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks. I did a little art in high school.
Oh. Well, we'll have to see. That ball cannot be played back. We'll have to check that out. Do we have samples of your art to put on air?
Absolutely not. I'm not subjecting myself to that kind of trauma. Volley Talk would have a field day with that.
Remember, Monet gets set off her pass and gets blocked by Molly McCage.
That one, what do we call it, Kevin?
That was a stuffed turkey right
Yes,
there.
thank you.
Well, it was a stuff. I've never thought about it as a whole turkey. Could have been a Build-A-Bear. Could have been a lot of things. That ball's too long and gone.
I think Molly McCage might be my favorite to watch after she gets a stuff. She kind of just turns around to the crowd. Her entire body presence it changes after she gets a block.
It's aggressive, very aggressive. How about when she gets a deep kill that's perfect? That's the same serious face we saw earlier.
Oh yeah, that's the one. She's in her element. And I love when she swings deep like that. She's pretty much avoiding every defender on the court by going for that deep corner.
Danny Drews straight down the line. Betty gets it, hits it off the top of the block, and then stuffs. So she will get the block points there for shutting down Hilly.
Have a little look at that net play. McCage thinking she had it. She got a good touch there. And that's the value of having a tall setter, Sydney Hilly, not silly, Sydney Hilly, able to turn around and make a move, but Betty's just so strong.
Valentin Anderson gets that second contact. Extra defense on in the back, but Tanya rejects it. Hoffman high off the hands, beautifully done down the line over Natalia Valentin Anderson. That is her one liability, her height at the net.
That is her shot. That looked almost like a Brittany Abercrombie shot, but from the right arm. High, through the blockers, deep. Perfection.
Sub in, Taylor Bruns Tegenroot comes in. This has been a powerful sub for this team this week. They've scored a number of points, including a massive run yesterday with Taylor Bruns Tegenroot at the line, the lefty. Betty calling for it, trying to put it away down the line, but she did not get enough. 20-17, Abercrombie. Timeout still available. First three-point lead in this set. Dump, yes. Tricky, Nati.
Sneaky Nati. And I feel like Nati does this more than any setter.
How about the set overs yesterday? There were a couple of those, yeah.
She does not have fear to do it, despite being a smaller player. And she's just forcing every blocker in an orange jersey to watch her.
And she's quite good from the line as well. Nearly overpassed. Instead, Hoffman tattoos the ball, ripping it off Kojima.
All right, I love this play from Hilly. Everyone in the gym, including Jenna Rosenthal, thought, okay, setter just dumped. The opposite setter is going to do the same. She probably could have because it was so tight, but takes it with one arm and instead gets a one-on-one opportunity for her hitter.
Rosenthal over the top.
Jenna again continuing to show her value as the #3 pick for Betty. Betty smiling like a proud mama.
Page, open frame, and the ball delivered by Hilly.
So
what is an open frame, by the way? You know what I mean by that?
Do you mean that her shoulders are open to her setter? She's got a wide window allowing her to see the entire court with her shoulders open and then rip on it.
Yep, and have the setter deliver the ball.
Got it.
Almost. If you were 6'9", Key, you would have had it. 22-20. We've seen time and again runs around the 20-point mark. This kind of lead is not safe.
Especially if it's Betty's team on the other side.
Drew's good pass, Abercrombie. Time for the captains to shine, perhaps. Missed there. Cruz hammers it, but standing in is De La Cruz Mejia on the defense. Abercrombie, lots of angle to have. Nati with the dig. No libero on the floor. That's made a difference here. Not this time. Normally that libero is pulling the second contact when the setter digs. Here it was the middle blockers with that responsibility.
And Nati stepping in for libero duties twice in a row. Kind of throwing that ball right in the right towards the net.
23-20. Johnson working off the block and down. So Willow Johnson continues her hot play. 4 of 9 now here in this first set. She was streaking out yesterday, as we talked about earlier. Nearby her hometown, she said she wishes there was a nice place like Bottle and Bean near her own hometown so she could spend some time at it. Abercrombie with the kill, and here we go.
We gotta get you some Bottle and Bean merch, I think, at this point.
I'm talking
or a
about
sponsorship of some kind.
Yeah, you wonder how much I'm getting paid per mention.
I know. I was gonna say, I want a cut of that.
Done a secret
Jump
deal. Don't tell Sherry. Set point. Outside. Stop for the moment. This time, Kojima on. Do you go to the captain? No, you go to Denny Drews to close. A beautiful first set performance, 25-21 by Team Abercrombie. Hands Team De La Cruz Mejia, just their second set loss of the weekend. Plus 40 team points for Abercrombie. They're climbing that leaderboard. The ASU Sun Devil volleyball program enjoying some professional volleyball right in their own backyard. Team Abercrombie and Team Dela Cruz, a meeting of unbeatens, 25-21. The victory for Team Abercrombie. As these women get a good look at the next level, is our second match. The first match, Kat Bell won a golden set with Team Nutsara, 11 kills, 3 blocks, and an ace.
Oh yeah, and she had to come out firing to get that because it looked like Team Kathy had the advantage there going into the golden set, and she just stepped on the gas. I love these angles she's able to get. Again, former middle. I love giving her props because she has developed into one of the best opposites in this league.
All right, let's take a look at the match one MVPs brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. One Kat Bell with plus 60. Maddie Kingdon and Rishel takes in 40 points, as well as Kaz Brown. This was a team that was looking for their first set victory as the celebration continues.
Apple juice is what that is.
Well, we hope it is.
Got Bella off to do recovery, do some rehab, get herself prepped and ready for the draft tomorrow.
Okay. A look at Team Abercrombie.
Yeah, this team, to avoid sounding like a broken record in terms of balance, I went to the thesaurus. Got some new words for you. Harmony, equity, symmetry, evenness, parity. This team is using a little bit of everyone on their team. It is not a one-sided event. Got the middles involved, we got blocking from McCage, all kinds of action from these players. And we talked about this in the intro. It could not be just one player to win it. It was the impact players stepping up.
All right, look at our stats through one set. Score 25-21. That's the most important one. Otherwise, are you surprised there isn't a ton of separation?
No, I'm not. These are the two top teams coming into the weekend, and I have a feeling, if we know Betty and we know her squad well, they're going to respond in this team, or in this set. There were a few too many errors for my liking in that first match. I think that was the difference. Abercrombie kind of kept themselves in the game by keeping those errors low.
All right, taking a look at the hitting percentages here. Team Abercrombie at a 320 clip. That is pretty steady. Sharp shot, picked up right away. Hoffman gets it right back, rolls it at Betty. Willow smartly tries to chip the edge, can't get it back the other way. Drews even harder. Lefty on lefty crime.
Just to follow on that errors point, Dela Cruz's side gave up, I believe, 10 errors in total, and Abercrombie only 5. So if they can cut down on those errors, that's the match right there, or the set even. Maybe not the whole match.
Bruns taking it in early to serve. Hoffman with one touch on the block. This time it goes the other side, but Danielle looking for the fingertips and ripping them off. It's terrible when she just takes her nails right off the top as our leaderboard scrolls by. That is live updating with all the action here. Remember, we will have the captains for next week determined in this match.
Oh, there you go. Bruns Tegenroth just jumped up 5 points.
Draft coming tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Savannah Collins hosting. I will be there with her as we watch 4 new teams take shape for our next weekend of action starting on Friday. Friday, Sunday, Monday from Mesa, Arizona. Come see us in person. If not, continue to enjoy it and check your local listings as well as the AU Volleyball website for where we'll be. Kojima with a dig. A long rally here. Chipped to an end.
Betty gets the point, but Kojima in the backcourt over and over keeping the ball alive. And I love that I spoke to Betty before the draft last week, and I said, you know, I'd love to see you with Kojima again. Maybe you take her high. She kind of laughed at me. She then ended up taking her 4th place. 4th draft pick, a libero. So that's exactly why right there.
Lanami Kojima coming off of the Paris Olympic Games. She was voted best libero at the 2024 BNL, with Japan earning a silver medal. Probably a pretty disappointing Paris result for the national team that expected to once again be relevant. We've seen a renaissance of Japanese volleyball on both the men's and women's sides. Probably the best tournament played by the men since the 1960s. Hoffman. Betty calling for it. throwing it in. Willow Johnson knew it was coming. The quick reset from the 44.
Just to revisit that point about the Japanese team, they play fast. Defense is one of the priorities. So to be the Japanese national team libero is not that you're just a good player in Japan. You have to be one of the best because pretty much every player in Japan is good at defense.
Backslide, long delivery to success for 2.
Abercrombie did a really great job, the whole team, of serving tough, but also keeping those errors low. This time, they're kind of letting Betty's side get into it. Oh, big run down.
If you come to an AU volleyball match, you might get a little close and personal with some of the players here if you're in the front row. Hi, I'm Sydney. Betty ticks that one, went through the cable. The captain, Kojima, with the dig. That's Drews playing center field. And the roll shot is good from Brittany Abercrombie.
She's been a little quiet tonight. Just the 4th point for her. We're used to seeing her really rack up the points. And again, I keep going back to this, but that connection, Haley bringing her a little inside. We saw that on night number 1 as well. Those balls dropping a bit inside. That's not comfortable for her, especially when she's on the outside position as a lefty.
Johnson and Drews, an old Pac-12 battle renewed. Here it is in reverse. Roll shot, Nati is all over it. Page covers herself with the right hand. Smartly done by Brittany Abercrombie, who continues to find creative, innovative, and stylish ways to get kills.
So stylish. The style at the maximum. But you know what? She's so tall. She is so willowy, I guess is the word, for lack of a better word. She's able to reach as high as she can and kind of beat the block with that height.
She is a bit willowy, but strangely, Willow Johnson is not a bit Abercrombie-y. Or Brittany-y. 22 rookies this season in Athletes Unlimited, none more impactful than number 4. Continues to be in the championship chase right behind, but Daniela de la Cruz Mejia, the champion in 22, and those 12 points for that stuff block will get her even closer.
Big move there with the arms. And again, the height difference, we don't like to talk about Lektor as being an undersized attacker, but sometimes when you're going up against one of the tallest players in the league, it shows.
Well, I don't, but you do. We've had back-to-back runs here. We had a 4-point run one direction, a 4-point, and now 5-point run back the other way, and it precipitates a timeout from Betania de la Cruz Mejia. 7-5 the advantage, and 1-0 for Team Abercrombie.
My name is Staff Sergeant Ruben Mejia Villanueva from the 362nd Recruiting Squadron. The United States Air Force encourages female athletes everywhere to aim high and break barriers. We proudly partner with Athletes Unlimited, who support players who are always ready to compete for the top spot. Let's find out who climbed their way up the leaderboard rankings to earn the title of the Air Force's Mover of the Week.
Willow Johnson is our mover of the week, and it's almost impossible that she wouldn't be. Here's what she's entering tonight with: 22 kills, 13 digs, 4 blocks. However, she barely saw the court in week number 1, so she has come out, made an impact. We're seeing the Willow Johnson that we saw last season, utilized from all areas of the court: right side, middle back, left side. She is a player that does it all. Already 6 points on the board tonight, and I expect a lot more before this match is over.
Yeah, I felt like it was her performance late in last week that kind of raised her stock, that had her landing here with Betty de la Cruz Mejia and the women in black and gold. already tonight, continuing that impact with her 5 kills, a service ace, and a dig. Her side still struggling a little bit. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael from Mesa, Arizona, and the Arizona Athletic Grounds. This facility hosting us for the 2nd year in a row. And this is just our 2nd week of 5 weeks of competition in this individual championship chase, where every action that an individual takes has a plus or a negative. And every team success adds to your championship potential. Betty, back row, snapping for the corner, dug up by Hoffman. Drews tips. Better opportunity here. Page takes advantage. They're looking as relentless as Team De La Cruz Mejia has looked through 2 matches this weekend, Team Abercrombie.
100%, and it's interesting because this was the match of the week, right? Both these teams coming in undefeated, and if you were just looking at paper or results from the last week, you'd say, oh, Betty's team's got this hands down. Not the case. Abercrombie's put together a solid squad on that side.
And so what is it about Abercrombie's side, do you think, that has worked well throughout the previous 2 matches and into this one?
Well, I think we've seen a couple of players step up, one being Page yesterday, Hoffman as well taking on more of a role. So we know that Danny Drews is going to be impactful. We know that Abercrombie will be. However, when you start to see players, Molly McCage as well is on that team. So there's just a lot of things to pay attention to. Defense as well. I mean, with Morgan Hentz on the court, very difficult to score.
Yeah, Drew's coming off a performance in which she hit 480 while she received 34 receptions. She was targeted and got in rhythm. And then you mentioned Page. First match, 4 kills, hit 250, unremarkable. However, 3 blocks. Next match, 10 kills and hit 364. Molly McCage was the middle following up with blocks. In that one, she had 4. There's been some pretty good symbiosis going on between the middle blockers and their effect on the game. Benet trying to go high hands, controlled instead. McCage not able to get on there. This is where McCage needs to stay in front of the setter for the most part, not her favorite place to be. Johnson through Drews, who picks it up behind herself. Oh, that looked like a 3rd shot drop in pickleball. Instead, it's a drop shot from member Benet.
What a rally. I don't even know the pickleball reference. I'll just take your word for it. But these 2 players, all these 2 teams, excuse me, watch this defense right here. Scrambles to keep it up with the chicken wing. Then it's popping off another player. Just a heads up play that allows the orange team to go again.
Drews hits her way out. All right, you can get closer to the action with your free unlimited club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Go sign up right now, auprovolleyball.com. Get in the conversation, be a part of those MVP awards. Be a fan and a participant. Karis Watson is a participant on that kill. Backslide to the pin.
I'm interested we haven't seen more of her. I thought she was phenomenal in week 1 in terms of block touches, but also she got a lot of attack. She got a lot of offense going as well. And she really hasn't been a big part of the Gold squad in terms of offense this week.
Big jump serve, overpass. Watson can't put it away. It does stay alive. Drews. She puts another one away, and this is the point at which you really want to start watching that overall score. Okay, we know it's 11-8. You're used to that in the set score. Team Abercrombie leading in this set to 25, win by 2. But take a look at the match score down below. 36-29. That is for those 60 team points, and that is the lead for Team Abercrombie right now. Total of 7. Looking for 8. Perhaps it comes on a swing right now. Kojima underneath the roll shot. Betty blocked. Sydney Hilly with the shutdown.
Hilly with the height. It's interesting because Nati Valentin Anderson is one of the best blockers in the league, but when you have a tall setter like Hilly, there's not going to be any zone where you can utilize.
All right, Betty has that look in her eye. I was talking to Maddie Kingdon and Kat Bell earlier today about that look, and Betty sometimes just will not be stopped.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Paula Igonu, now gold medalist Paula Igonu, taking over a couple of Olympic matches this summer if you watch that tournament. As subbing in comes Gabby Blossom. Both teams using their backup setters.
That's the kind of player you want to play with. And if you're a setter like Nati, she knows that any moment she can throw that ball over to Betty and the point will be as good as had.
Yeah, when Betty looks at you that way, the decision's made.
Yeah, 100%. Authority and autonomy out the window. Betty gets the ball.
The Big Beth on Instagram. Give her a follow. Backslide getting there late was McCage. Line shot, perfectly done by the 2-1.
All right, so here's the way to get past Nazi Valentin Anderson. It's not to swing as hard as you can low. It's that ball right there. A little higher, a little softer. It's almost, I don't want to call it a lollipop because it's still a pretty hard driven ball, but it's just that higher bit to get to the end line.
McCage with the defense, right into the lights. Perfectly dug ball, unfortunately a little too high for the arena, and no debris thus far. The cage held.
Betty with the big swing all day long. So close to a middles defense.
Redirect, Hoffman with the hands, quick. Abercrombie, opportunity. Hoffman's been going to that jam a lot tonight.
Oh.
Kojima digs it right to the center spot. A little tight to the net. Drews covered. Big cuts taken, and finally a point given.
And the liberos are working overtime tonight. There's been some spectacular digs. But Abercrombie she looks so calm when she attacks the ball as well because she's able to kind of just flow up into the air. It's not that her swings are so powerful. It's that she contacts with such fluidity.
3 lefties on the court. 2 for one side, 1 for the other. That ball out of the middle and good. One of the interesting things here, the service story, as Betania de la Cruz steps back to serve, had been a positive one, or Team de la Cruz even a dominant one. Here they only have 2 aces to 4 errors. Team Abercrombie handling a team that was averaging more than 2 aces per set. Another good pass. Page, pretty nice bump set. Eddie. That's the overdrive. I think she just shifted into 6th.
Holy bananas. Betty de la Cruz. And Nati, like we said, feed over the body. Jenna Rosenthal can't even get out of the way. But in terms of the errors, I think I said to you they had given up 10 errors. Now in this second set, they've only given up 1. So they've cut down on that massively.
Hoffman continues to be a factor. 5th kill on her 19 swings. Johnson, off the block, antenna out. Point de la Cruz Mejia.
Smart swing from Willow. That was a pretty solid block in front of her, so she comes around over the shoulder, just aiming it to go off and out of bounds, using that geometry that we learned in middle school.
Sine, cosine, tangent, kill. Johnson there with Rosenthal. Hilly forced to play that one. And a beautiful bump set will be +5 there from Morgan Hens as she feeds it to Danny Drews, who looks more aggressive tonight.
Well, I think on this team in particular, she doesn't have to be the go-to every single time. I think last week, a lot of the load was on her. She was on Team Hens, and she had next to her Hoffman and as an opposite Cat Bell, but she was pretty much shouldering that load. Now she's taking a lot less swings.
Remember, Benet now 5 kills, but hitting just 6%. 4 errors. That's bad news. Good news for team very much in this set. Nati working hard to get her hands on that one. Joust, McCage covers it. Abercrombie gets that one to touch the cable past the antenna, which is out of bounds, 17-15. And remember to look at that other score there now, 42-36. That's for the overall. That'll really help you climb that leaderboard. Carlsbad, native with the serve, and it's an ace. She'll add 12 points to her own personal score, as well as another one to the lead for her namesake team.
You know what's wild about this? We've been saying all week not to serve Betty high because she's been taking that ball so well with her hands. This time it goes with her platform and gets aced.
I think that ball was right between the two. Lekator banging it through, but Cage, I think that was a shirt pocket she pulled it out of. Sliced out of the back row for the winner. You know, sometimes you pull things out of your pants pocket and make a play. Well, McCage, that was right out of the shirt. Like pocket protector, dig.
Like a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, well, that'd
Kind
be
of
right.
magician move.
Right in front. That would be Joe Trinzi. Remember, Benet, can she serve her team back to even here?
They put our name on the screen every time we say something silly. You notice?
Excellent. Yes, these are the goofballs you're listening
Yeah,
to.
apologies to everyone.
Oh, that's a banger. And Betty with some fire.
It's interesting, and I wonder if she thinks in the middle of this set, in the middle of this match, she's just lost the first set. This team is strong that's in front of her. Her crown, her position 1 is at risk if she's not coming back quickly in this match.
Absolutely, those team points could eclipse Betania de la Cruz Mejia in that #1 spot. But not if Karis Watson has anything to say about it. She'll get the block, and we're even here in the second set, and the overall is just 4.
Excellent work there from Watson. She sees that ball's out of system, and again, Drew's lefty, so it's a perfect lineup with that inside arm.
Looking for 40 set points, trying to get to 25 first. Woo, an absolute dart. Leaderboard coming in live. Cut shot finding its way inside the painted area.
So if I did my math correctly, Abercrombie's just 35 points behind Betty.
Keep an eye on that leaderboard as it goes by. It is live, 19-18. Betty collecting 8 points with that one and forcing a timeout by Team Abercrombie. De la Cruz Mejia back on top for the first time since early in the set, and it comes close to the end. So this gives us a chance to go into the game with the U.S. Air Force and one Jenna Rosenthal for Team De La Cruz Mejia.
You got me. I got. The one time I actually kind of read. Oh wait, it's like time to go. Yay! Oh, shimmers! Yes. Hey. Face up 'cause you're a natural. Crazy what I'm trying to say. Coming. Hey. Oh! Ooh! Ooh, that's silly. 2! Yes, Betty! Great job. Very nice. Well done. Yes. What's up? Yes. Yes, extra weight. 2 up, slide coming. Yeah. Yes, come on! Great goal. Good job.
Do you know what 2 up slide coming means? You should. You would.
2 up slide coming?
Yeah.
No. I haven't heard that call before.
See, this is what middles do. We're at the net giving information to everyone else.
No one's listening.
2 hitters up,
Yeah.
setter's front row.
Okay.
The slide is her priority.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
I'm just thinking about transitioning to hit. That's all I'm thinking about. I don't care about blocking. I'm just waiting to hit. Someone set me, please.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Okay. All right. And then I'm going to go get a bunch of T-shirts from the AU Pro Shop because they have T-shirt options available for the entire 2024 roster in youth and adult sizes. Check out our online store at shop.auprosports.com. We may or may not have filmed yesterday inside the Pro Shop. Is that coming soon?
With one Jenna Rosenthal. She's the star of the show.
Yeah.
You're also in it. Look, I need at least more than 12 hours to edit it, but it's coming.
I thought you were a magician. Come on
I also
now.
need to sleep.
All right, Brooke Nuneviller and the crew from match number 1 enjoying the action and the atmosphere of match number 2. Go ahead and rep your favorite volleyball athlete. Go to shop.auprosports.com today. And yeah, maybe it's number 26, Kayla Hanline, whoever it is. Maybe it's the double deuce. Out of the timeout. That one's a little long.
A little bit. Is there a term for that? A serve that just goes way into the stadium?
Scud missile. That's an old one, though.
Okay.
That's an old one. Oh, bad pass. Willow Johnson's going to hit it anyway. Oh, critical moment here. Tied at 19. Missed swings from both sides. And then a mistake in ball handling, and Dela Cruz Mejia still leads. Gabby Blossom's going to come in and serve, provide a little defensive extra.
I feel like I blinked and De La Cruz is back in the lead. It
Yeah.
was all Abercrombie in the early stages of this set.
Backslide. Good high crack from McCage. Off the head of Molly. And she can't get there. Tough plays, 21-19. They've opened a margin of victory here in the second set, have Dela Cruz Mejia.
I mean, my question is whether or not this is Betty's team beating Team Abercrombie or are they beating themselves? That's a couple of miscommunications in a row.
6-2 run for Dela Cruz Mejia. Looking for 7. Joust 1, that'll do it. Joust 1 via net violation, 22-19. If you're Team Abercrombie, you have 2 timeouts.
Is there anyone in Athletes Unlimited you'd like to joust against less than Betty De La Cruz?
No. No. Same size hands. And her vertical is way better than mine today. Here she comes. Trying to chip the edge, not this time. Monet, Valentin Anderson, Johnson for the winner, 23-19. Timeout coming from Team Abercrombie. Yes, indeed. A 4-point lead at just the right moment.
There it is again, the impact players. Willow Johnson, one of them that we talked about coming into this match, and she's delivering.
8-2 run. Timeout called by Abercrombie. Our draft is coming up tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. 5 total drafts taking place. This is going to be draft number 3. The top 4 on the leaderboard at the end of this match are going to be the team captains. The draft order is a snake format. Purple, that would be the number 4 person on the leaderboard, has the first pick. A total of 40 selections because there are 44 players in the league. And you can follow it on social media. Come on over to @AU Pro Sports. Join Savannah Collins and myself tomorrow, where we figure out what the strategy is, what the valued positions are, and who's doing the picking.
Is that where I can see it live, AU Pro Sports? I tried to watch it. I couldn't find it on YouTube until a little bit later, so we'll have to sort that out.
Okay.
4 gold team members currently in the lead. If orange were to overtake, how does that get mixed up? And then which of those to get grabbed immediately? So if I'm Abercrombie, and I'm thinking about my team for next week, who from this team do I definitely want to keep? Is it McCage for the blocking? Is it Lauren Page, who was fantastic? Does she definitely want to stick with Drews? Does she want to make sure Hens is still on her team? These are the questions she has to ask herself.
Does someone take Drews earlier and she's not available?
That's the thing, you got to think about who gets the first pick. So she might have got, she was in the orange jersey last week, might be in a different one this week.
This is why you want to tune in. Abercrombie out of the timeout.
Woo!
Has Johnson going all the way to the barrier.
Loving the hustle. Sacrifice the body. We talked about those LED boards earlier. They take no prisoners. She's wearing all kinds of sleeves though for protection, so that's good.
Betty, another kill into the angle. This one off Taylor Bruns, taking root. Set point for Team De La Cruz Mejia. And we are tied in the overall at 45. It's looking like we will not have a magic number headed into set 3. It's just going to be a 100-point set. That is another rip out of the middle back by the captain. They take a 46-45 lead. There'll be a second De La Cruz Mejia set point, and we would be 100% tied headed into that third set. No golden set possibilities, just a 100-point set. Whoever wins it takes home 100 and the victory.
Interesting. We had our first golden set of the season earlier.
And third all time, ball set over. That's not going to go. Betty, right side, reset. Again, through the seam this time, gone, and this set is over. We will head to set number 3 of our second match of our third day of competition, tied at 46 apiece, and play a clean 100-point third set finish to our second weekend of play.
For me, captain have to be like a leader, but also have to motivate their teams without forget she's still a player. Like, to not think too much about, oh, I'm a captain, I have to do everything perfect. For me, it's not like this. I'm a player first, but also I want to lead my team and motivate them. What makes good captain, I think, is like, be you, do your best, and with this, I think the team will follow you and you will have a good result.
Another big part of Betty's strategy as captain, when things aren't going well, she's talking to her setter immediately and saying, get me that ball. I'm looking at some of the points here. In set number 1, she had only 4 points. She got set only 9 balls. In set number 2, she had 14 points and got set 25 balls. So she's looked at Natty Valentin-Andersson there at some point and said, I don't care what's happening, get me the ball. And she certainly did. And there you're seeing how it pays off. She's able to find these points. She's able to swing strong. Betty she's in a league of her own, really.
That point was right around 18 all in the second set, and then all of a sudden you look up and it was 25-21. They were collecting 14 points and moving on, stats through 2.
46-46 is the score. Have we had that before, where 2 teams have gone into the third set completely tied?
I love it. 100
Not in
point
my
set.
memory, yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. From 46, it'll be real easy to track. Whoever wins by 2 in this set will win by 2 in the overall. And it's real easy for you to go and check out the brand new AU Pro Athletes Marketplace. This hub is for businesses and fans to engage with the AU athletes directly in a variety of individual NIL activities. Go to auprosports.com/marketplace and see how you can support your favorite athlete today. Now, NIL, you might think of that as something related to college. It's actually name, image, and likeness. It's a very common thing across all of sports marketing. See what you can do for an athlete and what an athlete can do for you. Brittany Abercrombie raising her profile. It used to be a Q rating throughout her performance here at Athletes Unlimited Volleyball, Pro Volleyball.
What's a Q rating?
It's how visible you are, how recognizable you are in the marketplace.
On the alphabet, Q?
I'm not sure why it's called a Q rating. Maybe Casey and our crew will chime in with their research.
Sometimes you just make things up, Kevin. I'm convinced of it.
Could be, could be. You'll have to tune into stuff you should know and figure out if I did or didn't make it up.
French fries, ice cream cone, and a Q. These are all just Kevinisms.
All right, we've had sets go one way and then the other way in exactly the same score. Has it been the same fashion? What fashion do you think this third set will be decided in, or what will it pivot upon, Olympian Key Michael?
Well,
you can't say middle blockers.
What I liked is that the Gold Squad cut down on their errors. We still saw them being aggressive, but not quite as much risk involved. So they were forcing the orange side to really play and make some moves. And they were able to pull ahead there. I'm guaranteeing you that a lot of balls going back to Betty again.
And right away that does happen. This time it's a block. I think Claire Hoffman's going to pick up the stuff there.
The problem with setting one player an unproportionate or disproportionate amount of ball is the blockers start to pick up on that. We talked a lot about balance, harmony, equity in the first set.
Togetherness.
No longer the case. Exactly.
It sounded very much like a Japanese use of English. Togetherness, harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have peace signs going. I absolutely love being in Japan. I really was ashamed that the world did not get to experience either in person, as was the plan for many people, including my family, but also on TV to experience the Japanese people through the Olympic Games. And volleyball, which they love. It would have been such a special presentation of that country.
100%. Well, now we've got it in LA coming up. So it's on us now to present.
Well, I mean, us, really Snoop Dogg.
You,
They're
it's
just
on you,
making
Kevin.
Snoop Dogg do the whole thing. Down the line and good, Willow Johnson. 2-1.
I don't know if the people know that you are an announcer for the Olympics.
I am.
Do the people know that?
I think most people know that. They don't know that I actually played volleyball.
Yeah, it's less believable.
Did you play? No. No.
Just went to 2 Olympics. No big deal.
Yeah, minor stuff. Overhead, Abercrombie. Off the hands and good. Yeah, I've had more than one encounter with an athlete here in Athletes Unlimited Volleyball about volleyball. And they have no clue I've ever played. In fact, one athlete 2 years ago went back and we had a conversation about her game. She came back the next day and said to me, I guess what you were saying makes a lot more sense now, because I went and looked up and I figured out that you did play volleyball.
Who are you?
Yeah, just an old person here talking about volley because my knees don't work, but my mouth still does. Through the hands. Drew's trying to manufacture something on the outside. Betty, a rare miss and frustration on her face. 4-1 the open for Team Abercrombie here as we welcome in Kayla Hanline.
Hello.
Of Team Betania de la Cruz Mejia. All right, Kayla, Key here is really big on vibes. Are the vibes vibing over there? What's it like?
I think the first set we started off a little bit tense, a little unsure of how this game was going to go. But in the second set, we kind of got our rhythm a little bit and brought the energy up because it can be quiet a little bit now. And I think we did a really good job as a team to bring that excitement back into the game.
Kayla, one of the most exciting things I think in volleyball nowadays is NIL, and you have a company that helps students navigate that. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm getting it started. It isn't fully started yet, but I would love to help high school students learn how to navigate the new NIL rules. It's obviously something new for me as well, as I didn't go through it when I was going through college, but I think there's a lot of opportunities out there for college students now other than just the scholarship opportunities from the teams, and to have a player who really, really wants to play for a school I think is pretty special. So to have those players have the opportunities to go to those schools for their pride and for the just grit of grinding out every day, and providing that through NIL, I think a lot more students and a lot more players will have that ability to play for the game they love.
And outstanding to see you getting active off the volleyball court, being valued in different ways than being a player. Thanks, Kayla.
Thank you.
5-1, first set, timeout. Team Dela Cruz, Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Nike.
This is Captain Cutie, the best captain in the game. She's going to kick everybody's butt. That's what she's doing all week. And look out for her. Nice job. I have to wait. Okay. You want us to take more cross on leg? No, I think this side is perfect. Okay. Let's go get this ball. One. Come on. Great job, Morgan. Good job, Britt.
Captain Cutie at your service. Interesting to hear from Sheridan there, because also Sheridan essentially knows she's never going to play unless Brittany's having an awful night and she subs herself out.
Tough spot to be in, even tougher if you're facing Molly McCage at the net. 6-1 Team Abercrombie in this 100-point third and deciding set to go undefeated on the weekend. One of these teams, whoever takes home this set, is going to take home a boatload of team points and a ton of pride for going 3-0. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael. Watching the conclusion to week number 2 take shape, and right now it appears to be orange rain. Fantas for everyone.
They're the cuties. They're the Clementine cuties, I think. Something to do with fruit.
That sounds healthier than my favorite European orange soda. Page to serve again. She has served tough throughout the weekend, and again, it's true. McCage with the stop. And that was ruled a lift by our R1, Katie Meyer. It is, in fact, legal to bring the ball back from that position, but you must do it in a legal fashion. The legal contact is what I mean.
Because the ball was going outside the antenna.
Correct.
Unless she touched the net or...
You can reach over that portion and bounce it back, right?
Exactly, but I thought she had a closed fist when she did it.
Not too much of an argument from De La Cruz Mejia. Rosenthal with the cutback. So what's the run to open the set? Oh yeah, 8-2. Easy math there.
8-2.
8-2.
8-2.
We came in tied in the overall, so what you're watching now is a victory in this set equals a victory in the overall.
And if Betty doesn't win, it'd be the first time this season that she hasn't taken the overall victory.
Abercrombie inside. Excellent point about our champion in 22, who is carrying a lead over Brittany Abercrombie right now of just 64 points. As the leaderboard updates live, who will have the #1 pick? Will Brittany Abercrombie end up in the gold jerseys? It could come down to the MVP points. It might just be 100 team points that push her over the edge. We will see. It depends on the stats from then. Well, the stats from now to then. How about a block? Drews and McKay's right back into Willa Johnson's face, and hopefully she's okay as she continues to sit in the right front.
Problem with that is the harder you hit, the harder it comes back at you, and Willow Johnson hits real hard.
True story.
Get another look at that. Blockers knew exactly where it was going. She goes just off the side of Drews, trying to sneak it past. No such luck.
Yeah, and that looked like a straight right to the face.
Yeah, right in the eye. I hope she's not wearing contact lenses. That's always my biggest problem. I lose a lens.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a glancing blow. Sometimes you get it off the top of your head. But if you get it straight in the face, that'll make you mad.
And I think Nati. Oh, classic. Nati, the veteran, saying, you know what? We need a tissue. We need a little time. We need a little extra shoe tying. We need a...
Because it's 10-2?
I've seen this one. Yeah, exactly. I've seen this one before. Nati just strolling back over. Willow Johnson even looked at her and said, what? I'm good.
If this were a bit more of a league where you are all separate teams and play with each other, the other team would be yelling right now, sub her out. You have to sub her out.
Yep.
But you might have teammates on the other side right now. We'll have to see. And we'll have to see how the draft shapes up. And you, too, can see how the teams are drafted. Tune in this Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, to follow along with the draft picks and hear from the captains. Go to auprosports.com/weeklydraft to tune in. Key, now you know where you need to be.
auprosports.com/weeklydraft. Done.
All right, we'll get a
Lock
little
it in.
extra moisture in the eye, and hopefully Willa Johnson can continue here. She looks like she says she's all right.
Yeah, so 10-2. What on earth does Betty's team do right now? Probably send that ball to Betty.
Well, they got a big, long delay. Basically a timeout taken. Lecator through the block and down.
So the strategy pays off. Take that little bit of extra time.
Something in the match. Heidi Casanova comes in.
I was going to say.
And we were about to play with 7.
She's still on the court. I'm like, hang on a sec. I think you're only allowed 6 at a time. She goes sprinting off.
Double sub. So Gabby Blossom, normally in to serve and play defense and left back, will serve and play setter. Led USD to a national semifinal.
And the strategy works. The idea was they didn't want that ball to go to the outside. They put in Heidi Casanova to strengthen up the solid front court in the blocking. Then that ball through the middle back to Drews.
The All-American Blossom delivers to the outside. Tip over the top. Dump picked up. Roll shot. That one sounded like it found the ground. But in fact, the ball is up, and now a replay immediately called by Katie Meyer. Sometimes you get an inadvertent whistle.
Oh, interesting. So will there be a challenge now? Because like you said, it sounded like it might have hit the ground.
It did sound that way to me.
We couldn't really see it from where we're sitting.
In fact, we do get a challenge, as you predicted, Key. Challenge whether the ball is up or down.
Oh, interesting. Abercrombie saying, can they challenge a replay? That's a great question.
Well, you could challenge the play itself because the replay is called after that action. So this is a very interesting question.
Let's have another look at this then. Just rolls. Oh, actually, that was closer than I thought.
Okay, what do you think, Key?
Let me see, let me see, let me see. Oh,
I think Morgan Hens is in the way.
Get another look at it. This angle might be the one. Yeah, it takes a bit of floor, I think.
I think that's quite a bit of floor,
Yeah.
actually. And the spin of the ball will tell you, too, because the ball doesn't pop up. It continues to spin. I disagree with this one. I think that ball is down. And Katie Meyer appears to be sticking with her initial call of a replay. And now Thomas Robson is going to argue the point here that the ball was already down.
I think
Katie's saying the ball is up.
Yeah, I think they have a point here. So she's saying, yeah, the ball is up, so we're replaying because I whistled. And the gold side are saying, well, if you whistled because you're saying the ball's up, now let's look at the ball. Was the ball down?
Right, if the ball's down,
If the ball's down, it should be
the
gold.
play
point.
is over.
Yes.
The whistle comes after the ball being down.
I think that's tough because the gold side now, that would have been a very different looking score. Would have been
Yeah.
4-11.
It's not as difficult as figuring out what to do when one player on the beach pushes the other player down on the side change. Katie Meyer had to deal with that as well. Just deal with it at the net, Molly McCage. 12-3. A very slow couple of points here in set number 3. 58-49 the overall. We had a timeout for a ball to the face and now a lengthy challenge delay.
Oh, big up.
Now a dig by Drews. Casanova outside, dug up by Hentz. Corner to corner swings. McCage scoops it high, gives herself time, set over instead. Lekator, how about the hands there? Go to the beach. Off the block, out of bounds. 13-3 plus 10. Team Abercrombie.
I mean, they had to work for that point. Sharp dig from Hentz. Then coming off the fingers of the block. This orange side has stepped on the gas. They are not given any free points. That's what we talked about in the first set, was the gold side was giving up a lot of errors, 10 to be exact. Now it's not the errors, it's straight up Abercrombie's side playing great.
Abercrombie throws it through, and that'll be another point. Pedal on the floor for the women in orange. Danny Drews flooring that tractor from the service line. Valentine Anderson back in. The block's still there. It never left. Once again, Lekator in a phone booth. Yes, indeed, she is. No changing into a superhero costume just yet. 15-3, timeout De La Cruz Mejia.
Molly's starting to figure it out at the net. We're used to these big Molly McCage blocks, went a little quiet in the early stages of this match, but now all things clicking on the orange side.
The block picture 9-3 in favor of Team Abercrombie. Molly McCage, a huge portion of that. Sydney Hilly also getting in on the action. Molly McCage has fully 5 of the 9 blocks.
Yeah, she's one of the veterans of the league. Pretty much a consistent figure in terms of one of the top middle blockers drafted. We talked about this in the last match. She continues to do so because of these clutch moments and how she responds when her team is down. She has a similar look on her face. I mean, looking quite relaxed and calm now, but when she gets those big blocks or when things aren't not going her way, that's when you can start to see it on her face.
Things are definitely going Team Abercrombie's way, and we talked to a whole bunch of players about who's going to win this league this year. There was a consensus pick.
Who is gonna win this season?
Oh, good gracious. This level this year, it's incredible.
I hope it comes down to the last possible second, and so whoever gets it really goes, oh, I had to fight for that.
I think the person that's gonna win the season is me, obviously.
I'd love to win, you know. I haven't seen anyone do it yet, but you know, maybe I'll be the first.
I hope I win this season. That's the goal.
I want to say me, Genesis Collazo.
Hopefully, Claire Hoffman's gonna win this season of Athletes Unlimited.
I'm gonna say me because that's, you know, everybody wants to win, right? And we all prepare for it, we all work hard, and I think it's gonna be a really good, hard season.
I like it. That was the contenders cut right there, Key.
Yeah, we thought about it last time we saw this cut and everyone was saying Betty, Betty, Betty. We thought, why didn't anyone say me? There they are.
All right, keep an eye on the leaderboard here. That chase right there between Abercrombie and Dela Cruz Mejia. Think about those team points. There's 100 team points available. Could make all the difference. And also, down here for Danny Drews, should she pocket 100 team points, she's going to jump up, and we might have Team Drews once again. We've seen that before.
Yeah, we were so impressed with both these two teams so far. And I think I like the way that both of them drafted their teams, but I think a little bit of a mix-up, some fresh faces. It's always fascinating when it comes down to this last match of the weekend and there's just those little movements happening. Who's going to be the first draft pick if they're not a captain? Yep. If Betty's not a captain, is there a possibility, is there a world in which Betty's not a captain?
No, there's no world like that. No, that's a non-planetary thing you're conjuring.
Okay, so she can't be the first draft pick then?
Not this time.
Okay.
You have to run her down next weekend. Down the line, the lead, 12. Make it 13. Unless there's a touch, nothing called. And this set is really slowing down. We now have a challenge. Dela Cruz Mejia is going to challenge.
Well, I think they're starting to get a little frustrated and realizing they have to take things into their own hands in terms of the timing of the match.
You know what's really frustrating too is that you're watching the other side. The women in orange are happily beating you. There's a lot of smiles and laughter happening on that side in between serious faces from Molly McCage and denials. That's not even close.
No.
Moving on.
Thing is, because the blocking has picked up, the defense has been, it's been really hard to score. Now the attackers, like let's remember Monet, are having to look a little wider, a little deeper, try to avoid the block, try to find spots that are open, and that's when you end up taking a little more risk.
Confirmed, more smiles and more points. Tough serve. Another good shot here for Dela Cruz Mejia and Willow Johnson. Waffle, says Key Michael. 17-3.
Delicious with maple syrup, whipped cream, and/or chicken. And less delicious in volleyball.
A 7-point straight run to add to the overall 17-3 here. Make it 18-3, and the wheels are off.
You know who we haven't seen attacking a lot in the last couple of points is Betty herself. She has only had, in this match, 2 attacking attempts. Or in this set, sorry, 2 attempts.
Hence picks that one up. Roll shot inside, backslide. Hence again with the dig. Play will continue. Finally, Watson.
Better connection, but I'm curious as to why they've gone away from Betty. She's only had 2 attempts. In the last set, she pretty much carried the team back into winning that set with 25 attempts and 14 kills.
Hilly, right-handed cover. Hoffman's been heating it up. Tight. Do they go back to Betty again? Yes. Tip, popped up. and chopped over, everything going orange.
Again, what Orange is doing well in this set, keeping things between a few different players, not relying too heavily on Abercrombie. She and McCage are the top scorers, but we're seeing a little Drews, we're seeing a little of Hoffman. They're not having to work that hard, though. It seems as if the gold side are kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
All-time low record in a set is 9.
Getting close to beating that record. That's not the record you want to beat. Betty's broken a lot of records, but I don't think this one she had her sights set on. The last team I would expect to beat that record would be Betty's.
130 matches, 31 matches played. Will we break the all-time record? Right now, in a battle of 1 versus 2 unbeatens. Drews! Woo!
Drews from the back. I feel like from the pipe, she's possibly even stronger than she is from the front. She has more options, more looks at the block in front of her.
Tight again, too tight, through the hands. Drews digs it. Abercrombie, difficult swing, just long. She made such good contact, I thought that was in.
I thought so too. I was watching it on the end line. No, not really any point in challenging though at this stage when you're at 20-6.
No, especially not when there's 100 points at stake for whoever wins the set. It's just 2. But you can keep adding your own individual stat points.
I like that one from Paige. At this point though, Sydney Hilly can play a little freer. She doesn't have to just rely on Abercrombie.
All right, time to get creative.
Yeah.
Broken platform for Drews. Betty misses. A successful weekend coming to an unfortunate close. Will it be in record-setting fashion? 22-6. Remember the record, 9 all-time low score in a set. Outside, Drews, off the block, Hens with the dig. Valentin Anderson picks it up. Betty gets blocked again. So how much do you think this set matters in the overall evaluation of talent headed to the draft tomorrow?
It's interesting because Betty has a lot of thinking to do now. She had a team on her hands all the way up until the last set that she would have wanted to redraft. She had great success last week in purple, again this week. Now, and I don't know who it is or what's happened, she herself kind of faltered there in this third set as well. But the question is, what have they learned? What do they take going forward? And what do they just throw in the trash and say, all right, that was a bad set. What can you do? It happens to everyone.
Will it be a historically bad set? Will this affect anyone's judgment? How much will it affect the leaderboard is what it will really do, is move a bunch of Abercrombie players closer to the captain's chair. A lot of positive stats. How many more negative points are coming for the other side? Another positive swing for Danny Drews, who's looking to end up in a captain's chair once again. We are at a 100-point ball for Team Abercrombie. A historic dominance here in the third. We were tied at 46. They're going to need one more. Second chance to close here for Abercrombie. Chance for De La Cruz Mejia to stay out of the history books. Kayla Handline in. Overhead. Captain in off the net. And that error indicative of this set. In historic fashion, Team Abercrombie finishes unbeaten on the weekend. They hang an 8 on Team De La Cruz Mejia, who had won all but one set coming in. The Clementines are going to take home 100 points for that set victory and the overall win. 140 team points added to each one of those players' scores, and that is going to shake up our leaderboard. Brittany Abercrombie looks like she might move up above, but Tanya De La Cruz Mejia, we're gonna wait for all the points to total in. Danny Drews is in a position to end up in a captain's chair tomorrow. We still have MVP points to go as well, but first the team photo. Brittany Abercrombie, her first journey as a captain in this league, first time with that responsibility, and she not only crafts a winning side, helps the players around her be better, she is also exceptional through the weekend. 16 kills, she hits .480. She's gonna add in one service ace to go with it, and it continues to be the contact point and choices of Brittany Abercrombie that make her stand above the rest. Her ability to extend her arm, make consistent contact in a variety of different situations, smart hitting off the top of the block, and then being long at the net defensively, has her side on top of the leaderboard here. 25-8 in the third set. We came in tied at 46 apiece. We finish out at 71-54. Let's head down to Key Michael on the court with the captain.
Brittany, exceptional play today. All week long, all of last week as well. You've gone undefeated. What's the secret for your team?
I think we had really good energy today. I think our game plan is good. We stay on our assignments and we change well as the game goes on. And I just thought this group like gelled really well together. The chemistry was really there.
Was there anything that you learned this week as being a captain that you're going to want to take into next week?
Yeah, I think it was my first time as a captain, so just stepping into that role was difficult for me, I think, the first day, but it got easier and easier as the days went on, and this team was great in supporting me, so I'm going to bring that into next week.
If you're in the gold jersey next week, you're going to get the 4th and 5th pick. Is there anyone in particular from this team or last week or someone else that you'd want to grab immediately off the board?
I can't give anything away. It's all a secret until the draft. You'll have to watch the draft to know.
Well, when you're going into the draft, what's your strategy then? You don't have to give me any particular names, but what is the identity that you want your team to have? Is it aggressive serving? Is it defense-minded?
I think it's offense-minded and also like how they fight, if they have the ability to win.
Awesome, love that. Well, congratulations. You can go celebrate with your team one last time. And back to you, Kevin.
Brittany Abercrombie and her side moving up the leaderboard. MVP votes not in yet, but you have to expect that Danny Drews is only going to climb from where she's at, so it'll be 2 from each side headed into tomorrow as captains. Brittany Abercrombie looking like she is going to wear those gold and black jerseys. She will be the #1, the leader in our championship chase headed to week number 3. And this is how the schedule shakes out. We'll be back with you on Friday. Of course, we have that blue-orange showdown first. We'll get to that orange-gold showdown on the back end on ESPNU. That'll be 9:30 Eastern on October 21st, a week from today. What a day it was. Much to be decided, and it was even all the way to the end of the second set, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't a blackout, it was an orange out. Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. We'll be back with you on Friday. For more information on where to watch, visit auprovolleyball.com. For Key Michael and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Barnett. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again with more outstanding play from Mesa, Arizona.